7, we were speaking about the levels of Rosh Chodesh, that there is just like there is miracles and there's miracles of miracles. So in a similar vein, there is the level of Rosh Chodesh, the way it's every year, every day, every Rosh Chodesh of the year versus Rosh Chodesh Nisan, that over there, the double nun indicates it's Nisim. So it's there's, even though Rosh Chodesh is the level of Havaya, not just Havaya de Lasata, but Havaya de La'ela, there's even a level that's beyond the letters of Yud Kei Vav Kei, and just like there's a Mesiras Nefesh, there's self-sacrifice that's manifest in Torah mitzvahs, the same things, there's self-sacrifice that's actual self-sacrifice. So this is all comes from the higher level of Kabbalah, like there's two levels in Kabbalah soil of the whole year, Kabbalah soil of Roshon. So this is the different levels of Rosh Chodesh in Rosh Chodesh Nisan itself. So now he goes on that this is also has to do with the idea of bittul. So again, on page 7, line 6, page Yud Aleph, in a similar vein, also concerning the bittul, the bittul is the idea of the empty seat. That's the time of Erev Rosh Chodesh, where the moon is not present. So that shows on the level of bittul, just like we have the level of bittul that has to precede the Surah L'Sat, that has to precede the Surah L'Ela. So there's the bittul of an ordinary Erev Rosh Chodesh. Every Erev Rosh Chodesh is the level of Yipakid Mishavecha. Every Erev Rosh Chodesh is a time when the moon disappears. And then there's a higher level of bittul which has to precede the higher revelation of Rosh Chodesh Nisan. Line 18, there's a level of bittul the way it's in Torah study. Though Torah study has to be in a state of bittul, like we say, Hashem tzvasai tiftach afi yagi tilosecha, nafshi kafar l'kol tia. It has to be, my soul has to be like dust before everyone, and I have to realize that it's Hashem opening up my lips to be able to say words of Torah. And then I'm learning Torah. So the Torah has to be predicated on a background and a basis of bittul. Along with the bittul of Torah study, there also has to be the full power of the person. He needs to have his confidence and full force of speaking in the name of Torah. The Chazal say, Man Malkei Rabbanon, who are considered kings, those are the Rabbanon, because the Rabbanon decide the law and determine the law just like a king does. Meaning there has to be with a full force of their authority as representing Torah. Amar Malka Achar Tura, the expression is that if the king decides, if the king commands, if the king says, he can even uproot a mountain, which shows on how powerful the king is. Then he's going to bring the Chassidus meaning of Amar Malka Achar Tura, Kapirish Abzal Chassidus, Sha'oiker Asayitzaharish Nidlam Kahar, like the explanation of Chassidus, that the Chazal say that by tzaddikim, when they will look back, when Mashiach comes, they will look back at the Yetzer Hara that they conquered. They will look at it and say, how is it possible for us to conquer this amazing, powerful mountain? So, Amar Malka Vakatura, that the Rabbanon, who are the level of the king, have the power even to uproot a mountain. So that is the bittul that's part of Limrat Torah. Just like we said, there's Mesiras Nefesh that has to do with fulfillment of mitzvahs. But then there's a higher level of bittul. There's also the level of bittul that's complete negation of one's being and existence, etc. So it goes on. So that is the difference in, let's say, the bittul of every Erev Rosh Chodesh versus the bittul of Erev Rosh Chodesh Nisan. So he says, this is what it says, this month is for you. In addition to the general idea of Rosh Chodesh, the Rosh Chodesh is the joining of the sun and the moon in the two ways that we mentioned before, both in the level of Yichud Chitzoni, the level of Yaakov, and the Yichud Pnimi, which is the level of Yosef, which that takes place, we said, after prefacing it, the avodah of your seat being empty, meaning the bittul that happens on Erev Rosh Chodesh allows and is the Sursul Sato, so there should be afterwards on Rosh Chodesh, the Sursul Eilam, the chibur of the sun and the moon, Yaakov and Yosef with Malchus. And the Rebbe adds that Erev Rosh Chodesh shenikra b'shem Kippur Katan. The day before Rosh Chodesh is called a minor Yom Kippur. Some people have a custom to fast then. Some people say special slichas at that time. The Rebbe would usually go fast and go to the oil, or fast because he went to the oil. But Dugmas Yom Kippurim, similar to Yom Kippur, she'alav nemar lach yosem barav. On Yom Kippur, since we call it a minor Yom Kippur, Erev Rosh Chodesh is called a minor Yom Kippur. That means it's similar to Yom Kippur. Yom Kippur, it says that you give them life during hunger. The simple meaning is, despite the hunger, they are given life and vitality and energy. But on a deeper level is Kimavur, let's explain that their very vitality comes from the hunger itself. That the Jew is hungry and thirsty for Hashem, that vitalizes them, that gives them energy and life, and that is the experience on Yom Kippur. In the two manners that we mentioned before, the bittul of Erev Rosh Chodesh, there's the two levels of bittul, both concerning the external garments, meaning thought, speech, and deed. The person brings the bittul into them. Also concerning the inner powers, beginning from Chachma going down all the way to Malchus. In other words, his seichel, his midas are permeated with bittul, but it doesn't just stop with the kochs apnimim, but also it goes up to the kochs makifim of will and the light. So through having the bittul of Erev Rosh Chodesh in all of these aspects of his being, through that becomes that you will be remembered on Rosh Chodesh, meaning that special unity, that special joining of Yichud, Shimsha Vasir, or the Yaakov and Yosef joining with Malchus. So in addition to all of that, there's also the unique quality, Shal Rosh Chodesh Nisan, top of page Yud Beis, that what's the special quality of Rosh Chodesh Nisan, that when he chose Yaakov and his children, covered by Rosh Chodesh Geula, he established in it a head of month of redemption, that in the Rosh Chodesh of Geula comes out a revelation that's higher than all the specific advantages of the natural way of running the world. When Tishrei was the head of everything, before there was a Rosh Chodesh of Geula, it was all about the advantages and qualities of nature and Hashem's unchanging aspect of being revealed in nature. The Nisi is revealed in nature going on without any type of change. But Geula is that which has to do with miraculous beyond nature. Through our actions and service throughout the time of Golus, especially in this generation. That the leader of our generation is Yosef, the Friedrich Rebbe's name was Yosef Yitzchak. As we mentioned before, Yosef is the main one. Eila Toldus Yaakov, Yosef. Yosef is the main continuation in the same line of Yaakov. Therefore, of Yaakov and his children, who of his children is the main expression of Yaakov? That's Yosef. So poilim shebenisan nigalo benisan asin ligoil, we affect that in Nisan they were redeemed, and in Nisan they will be redeemed in the future. Begulam mitzvah shlema de Mashiach tzidkein, the true and complete redemption through Mashiach.